Thank you very much, Steve, and thank you for opening up your home, this magnificent home, to us, and for your hospitality in doing that. It's a real privilege and pleasure to have the tour a little early. I hope you get to see it the way I did earlier. I make a lot of talks. I have two rules. One, never seek an invitation. Enough find me without seeking them. And secondly, when they come, try not to say no, which is not a good rule. But I never miss an opportunity not to make a speech. So tonight I'm going to try not to make a speech, okay? But I just a couple of comments. I will open it up if you like, see if there's time, Steve, for questions. If anybody's got a question they'd like to put to me, I'll be happy to take those. It reminds me, though, the toughest question I ever got in a Q&A session after a speech was that I was with the green team of a major American chemical company that shall be nameless to protect the innocent and not persecute the guilty. And there were 300 people. There were the green team of this company. And I got this question from some guy way in the back. He said, "Say, Ray, in a sustainable world, do you think there'll be a place for carpets?" Well, I was flummoxed. I had no answer for him. I mumbled something incoherent. And then I thought later what I wish I had said. You ever had that experience? God, if I just, yeah. Well, I'll come back to that. But what was interesting was I learned what was behind the question in the first place. It seems that this same green team had been in this two-day-long session, and they were all working on a thought experiment. And the challenge to each of them, they broke up into like 30 teams of 10 people each. And the challenge to each team was, you're about to make a space voyage to a distant planet, intergenerational space voyage. You've been chosen to be on the crew. You've been chosen to plan the mission. So what will you take with you? So these 30 teams worked through the night, and they reported back the next day their space voyage plans. And here's the punchline. Not one single team named one single product made by their company. I thought, God, that is so sad. Yeah, so sad. And that was what was behind the question. In a sustainable world, is there a place for carpets? Well, of course, the real story here is we are on a spacecraft, on an intergenerational voyage to a distant planet, the future planet Earth. So what will we take with us on our space voyage? And how sad, to be involved in anything, making anything that doesn't belong on that spacecraft. So what I wish I had said is, yes, there will be a place for interface products on that spacecraft, because we're in the business of making and selling beauty and comfort to lift human spirits and make people happier. And if we can do that sustainably, and only if we can do that sustainably, yes, there'll be a place for interface carpets on that spacecraft, on future planet Earth. I can maybe give you a progress report. That might be the best way to spend our time here. I brought along the ecometrics. Does your company have ecometrics? Ecometrics for interface through the middle of the year 2009. We don't have the year-end figures yet. It's a really laborious process to pull all this together. But here's where we stood at mid-year 2009, measured against a 1996 baseline. Landfill waste per unit of production since unit of production, down 83%. Water intake per unit of production against the 1996 baseline, also down 83%. Total energy in per unit of production, down by 41%. With changing energy mix to include renewable energy, fossil fuel intensity reduced by 55%. With verified offsets, net greenhouse gases reduced 99%. And that's in that's in absolute tonnage. We're not sure that figure will hold up through the year, but we do believe we'll end up at somewhere better than 90% reduction in net greenhouse gases. And with the larger company, that translates into greenhouse gas intensity per unit of production or per unit of sales, a reduction of more than 95%. So that is roughly the magnitude that the whole global technosphere, the whole spaceship Earth, must realize by 2050 to avoid catastrophic climate change. It's an enormous challenge, but the lesson here, it is possible, even in a petro-intensive company like Interface. 30% of our global energy is from renewable sources today. At the mid-year 2009, 35% of raw material by weight was recycled or bio-based materials. In Europe, 100% of our electricity came from renewable sources. That translated worldwide into 89%. That's the energy running our factories. 96 million square yards of climate-neutral carpet produced since 2003. That's climate neutral from the wellhead to the end-of-life reclamation. Climate neutral. 96 million square yards, 93,000 tons of product reclaimed. That is a product that's exhausted its first life on somebody's floor, retrieved, brought back, separated into its individual components, and those components given life after life in closed-loop recycling. 196 million airline passenger miles, offset by the planting of some 100,000 trees. All of that translates, you can see it's apples, oranges, peaches, and tomatoes. It's a real mix of things, but all of that translates roughly into an overall footprint reduction of something north of 60%. And the cumulative avoided cost from elimination of waste is totaled cumulatively $419 million since 1994, meaning that the waste elimination effort at Interface has paid for every other cost associated with sustainability, including investments made in fixed assets and the employee training and everything, the whole ball of wax. So costs are down, not up. And that's one point in the business case for sustainability. We are finding it to be an absolutely irrefutable case. Costs are down, not up. Products are the best they've ever been, largely influenced by biomimicry, learning from nature, studying how would nature do this. Some of our most important product developments in the history of the company have come out of biomimicry, looking to nature for the inspiration, the guidance.